Hi, everyone. Welcome to ElCo Chats. My name is Julieta. ElCo Chats is a regular podcast where we get to chat with El Camino College students, alumni, staff, faculty, and managers, and chat about all things El Camino College. For today's episode, I get to chat with Daniel Contreras, a current student and veteran from the U.S. Army. Welcome, Daniel.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So I'm looking forward to getting to know you and ask you a little bit about your experience here at El Camino College, especially as a veteran student. So please tell us a little bit about yourself and what are you studying here at El Camino?
A little bit about me. Born and raised here, grown up kind of a little bit all over the place, but I say that I'm from South Central because that's where I lived. I'd say the longest, the most stable. I grew up right behind the Slauson swamp meet right off of Western and Slauson. I'm currently studying kinesiology. I would like to transfer to Dominguez Hills.
Thank you. And prior to enrolling at El Camino, you served in the U.S. Army. Thank you for that. What was the transition like from a military role to walking onto a college campus? And what helped you get through that adjustment period?
I have a little bit of a complicated story, I guess I would say. When I got out the military, I didn't want to go straight back to college like how most people enlist for in the first place. I wanted to go straight to work, but I found it very difficult to find work. My first job was TSA. I worked at the airport. That didn't work out for very long. A job after that, I was a dishwasher at a El Pollo Loco. And then I worked for Volunteers of America, and then they had laid me off. After that third job, I had told myself, I think this is the universe telling me I should probably go back to school, take advantage of what I worked so hard for. So I just looked up community colleges near me, and I saw that El Camino was close. And I applied impulsively, and now here we are 2-3 years later.
Thank you. But before you got to El Camino, as we start talking about your educational journey, you tried another community college, but you said that it just didn't feel right. So what was it about El Camino that felt different, and what helped you thrive here?
My first time trying college, I had applied to that specific college just because everybody else was going there. And I had also applied because I had just graduated high school. I didn't want to lose, I guess, all the intelligence that I had built up in high school. So I had joined right away, but I was in a bad headspace. So I felt like being in that bad headspace coupled with not wanting to be at that school just overall led me to tell myself, like, I need a change. I need like a very drastic change because I very much felt I'm stuck. It was funny because I was considering dropping a class, and on this campus there were Army recruiters there, and it was just fate. I was just thinking about it, and they were just there, and they got me right then and there.
So you enrolled at the other college, then you went to the military, and then you came back. Yeah. And so what was the difference? What was it about El Camino that brought you in and helped you thrive?
I think one of the first things I did is I came to the school and I just like walked around, and I liked the campus. I liked how everything was. And then I also saw the Veteran Service Office. At the time, I didn't go in because I don't think I had my student ID or anything. But I saw like, okay, like they have something stable and official here, like for veterans. Like, and I very much felt, once I saw that, I didn't feel alone, I guess I could say. Because I felt very much alone now going back to school because I'm I would say a lot older than my peers. So I knew I was going to feel very much alone and out of it. But when I saw that, I was like, you know what? I think I'd be okay here because there's more than just one me.
Yeah, when you saw the space for veterans, I think, as you mentioned, was pretty inviting considering you hadn't applied. So fate brought you here, and I'm glad it did. And more so because you also shared that you'd be the first in the family to earn a college degree. What does that milestone mean to you personally?
Well, I feel like it's important when people are going through hard times to try to defy the odds, I guess I would say. Um, Try to work with what you have and just try to maximize your opportunity. And I'm the oldest out of three brothers. So I want to set that example for them as well. Like, hey, regardless of what you went through, what I went through, like I'm still here pursuing a better opportunity for myself. So I want to set that example for them. Like, hey, regardless of what's going on, things can get done. Maximize your opportunity, regardless of how much opportunity you feel like you lost.
That's great. I think it's a lot to take on, but I think making it a point to letting your brothers know about the opportunities that are available. And I'm glad that El Camino College is able to play a role for you with that. And now, as a veteran student, the Veterans Resource Center here at El Camino College is a safe haven for many veteran students. And can you share a little bit more about that space and the community and how they've supported you?
Yeah. So for the Veteran Service Office, most people go there to make sure that their benefits are in check, their education benefits are in check. And it's very much they just come in and out. They come in and out. But they have a space, they have their own dedicated pantry for them. They have like our own computer lab, like dedicated computer lab just for us. They're always sending us emails as far as like workshops or events that are going on here at school or any benefit workshops for the veterans. But also I'd like to add that they're also a safe space for the dependents of veterans as well, because we get a lot of students here that are the dependents of veterans. The veterans had passed down their education benefits to them. And I would like to emphasize that that safe space is also for the kids as well. So it's not just for the veterans, it's for the kids, and it's for really anything. You don't have to go in there just to make sure your benefits are good. You can go in there, get a cup of coffee. Sometimes they have food. Like, I enjoy that office because, going back to my original point, I very much don't feel alone. I can talk to somebody 10, 15 years older than me, and we could talk. We have the same experiences of being in the military. They understand what I'm going through as far as being older, and we still got to worry about homework and do date assignments and things like that. So it's very much a community that I enjoy. Like, I enjoy being here because of that office.
I think it's great. Exactly what you just mentioned is the point that I wanted to bring out, is that it's the one space where students with similar type of stories and experiences are able to come together and build community. And I'm really happy that you did mention that it's also for dependents of veterans, because there's also a certain kind of story and background that they might have in common as well. So thank you so much for pointing that out, that the Veterans Resource Center is that safe haven for veteran students and dependents of veterans. Thank you for that. Now, transitioning and talking a little bit more about your academic experience and additional support here, you spoke highly of several faculty members like Coach Lindheim, Professor Leva, and Professor Ramp. Can you tell us about them and what their support has meant to you?
Yeah. So I want to start off with Professor Leva. We didn't really have, I would say, a personal connection, but his story was very inspiring. He's a formerly incarcerated individual, and he's got a master's in sociology, and he's got his life together, and he's so smart. He's a very intelligent human being, and he was one of the first classes that I took, one of the first professors I had, where I was like, okay, I think I can make something out of going to school. Because he made me fall in love with school. It wasn't very much just stick to the syllabus and overly strict. He understood that most of us don't get the chance to get a higher education straight out of high school. So he's trying to maximize the opportunity in his class, try to pass his class. And that's what I appreciated about him. He made me fall in love with school. That's why I'm still here. And as far as Professor Ramp and Coach Lindenheim, so last semester I had a military buddy of mine. He passed away very unexpectedly. I was talking to him on a Sunday, and he died on Monday. And for Professor Ramp. He was my anatomy teacher. Anatomy is a very hard course, and I was going through it at the time. So not only was I struggling in the class, now I was struggling outside of school because of what happened. Grief is a funny thing. I was going to therapy at the time, and I had told my therapist, should I like tell my teacher? And she had told me it doesn't hurt to ask, because if you don't ask, you just self-fulfill this prophecy in your head that like nobody's going to help you. So I had told my professor, hey, this is what's going on. I'm probably going to bomb this test. I'm just letting you know. And he was basically like, don't worry. I've had people close to me pass away unexpectedly too. He's like, I'm here for you if anything. Like, if you bomb this test, I'm still going to support you until the end. I was able to pass that class with a C. And to me, that's like a B. That class was hard. And then as far as Coach Lindenheim, I had him for a tennis class, and I had told him what had happened. And he referred me to, I didn't know this, we had a grief support group at the Student Health Services. So I told him, and he said, don't worry about coming to class if you're not in the right headspace. Go to that grief group. I went to that grief group, and that helped me a lot. And he always checked in with me. Hey, how are you? How you feeling today? And this and that. And so that showed me that, these professors, these faculty members, they're just like us. They go through stuff. They're not humans. They're not robots. So it doesn't hurt to ask, because some of them will understand. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that they gave me the empathy and the grace to put my buddy to rest and help me go through that grief.
Thank you for that. And we're going to talk a little bit more about empathy in a second, but I just wanted to point out as well that I think it took a lot from you to take that first step and to open up and to have the conversations, because how else would your faculty members be able to support you without hearing from you and hearing about what was going on? So I congratulate you for that. I do, apologize, and I'm sorry for your loss, but it really takes a lot. So very proud of you. You also mentioned that students don't need extra credit, right? That what students need to succeed is empathy. And you spoke about it right now. So can you speak a little bit more about the idea and how it impacted your experience?
Well, I feel like that goes back to Professor Leva. He very much showed us, like, hey, if there's, how would he explain it? He would tell us, we live in a democracy. So if you guys come together and the overall vote is, hey, this assignment may or may not be too stressful, he would either try to curve the assignment or make the requirements a little bit less, but we still had to do the assignment. And that's what I appreciated. Like, there was this balance of like, we still had a voice. This set syllabus or these set assignments were not set in stone. And again, he made me fall in love with school. Now, unfortunately, I have had other teachers where the syllabus is set in stone, but he made me realize, it's not all that bad. It's like life. There's ups and downs. So you just gotta ride the wave. You just gotta go with it. And that's what I meant by empathy over extra credit. Some of these faculty members, they're gonna ride the wave as far as the attitude of the class, and they want you to succeed. Some of these faculty want you to succeed. They want the next batch of kids. They don't want to have to see us again. So that's what I meant by empathy over extra credit.
I think you're right in that empathy goes a long way. And also just a big kudos to your professors for knowing about some of these resources as well, because you could have mentioned, about your loss and not have known about the referral that Student Health Services was available to provide support, for example. But a big focus on the word voice. And it sounds like, part of that empathy required that two-way conversation. So again, goes back to you and what you bring to the experience as well. So thank you for sharing that. Now, thinking about other veteran students like yourself, and maybe in other branches of the military, what advice would you give to a veteran student or maybe a dependent of a veteran who might be thinking about coming to El Camino College?
That's a good question. To the veterans, well, first I would say congratulations. You made it. You know, all your hard work, you finally made it. If you plan on coming here, or if you don't, if you just plan on having a higher education, know that you're not alone. Ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help. Unfortunately, when you process out of the military, they don't really teach you much about our education benefits. We have to just figure it out on our own. I learned about a lot of education benefits through other veterans, and it's word of mouth, and then finding the laws in the VA. Ask for help. Network. Veterans come from all different walks of life. Network. And if you come here, visit the Veteran Service Office. I love that office. To the dependents, I would say, you know, your parents fought hard for that right, and instead of using it on them, they used it on you. Maximize that opportunity. Don't let it just sit there, or don't let it be a waste, because there are many other people. Education is expensive, and there are a lot of people in this world that can't go because of money. Don't take it for granted. Go to school. Make your parents proud. They didn't do it for nothing.
Thank you so much. So definitely any veterans out there, any dependents of veterans out there, you heard it from Daniel, visit the Veterans Resource Center, connect with other veterans, you know, whether they're on campus or veterans that you know, and just share that experience, right? And ask those questions, because that's what's going to help you succeed. So thank you so much for your honesty and opening up and sharing your experience. And as a first-gen student, you're going to do great. And I'm so glad that you're able to provide that experience to share with your family as well. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.